All right, Beast Gang Podcast. Let's bring in the heat with Obi-Wan, and hopefully this show turns out to be better than some of the previous shows and some of the previous movies.
I got a bad feeling though.
Yeah,
Somebody said something and I got a bad feeling.
yeah. It seems like a lot of times with these TV shows, sometimes the show isn't necessarily about the character. That Boba Fett wasn't necessarily about Boba Fett all the time. Particularly if 2 whole episodes of Din Djarin. Keith, how'd you feel about the Obi-Wan trailer?
I love the trailer. The trailer was phenomenal. And this is purely on the trailer production aesthetic. Like, the trailer was amazing. Gave enough of a tidbit to have me ready and waiting for that first episode. Kicked off with the music from the prequels. Gregor in all his glory, like coming up there as Obi-Wan. I like that they did a throwback and even had the same actor who played Owen get an idea. Obi-Wan is just going to be the guy overseeing and just kind of looking out for Luke. But all the while, the galaxy's falling in the darkness. You got the Inquisitors popping up. I'm pumped for that. And all in all, it's hitting the right beats. Fighting sequences we saw with the lightsaber and everything looks like they're falling more in vein with the prequels, and they must have hired one of the stunt coordinators from those movies because they were looking pretty good. That's my take on the trailers. And come back to me if you want to ask me based on what I've heard about the show so far.
All right.
What's got me worried.
So Matt, how'd you feel about Obi-Wan?
I love the trailer. I mean, the one thing I like about it is that it pays homage to some of the things that have happened, I guess, in the Star Wars animated series. Watched it within the last year because I figured that they would go in that direction. I'm glad it did. Although I think there's a lot of issues as far as online about Master Inquisitor or Grand Inquisitor or whatever his name is.
Yeah, how he looks.
Yeah, how he looks. He doesn't have that elongated face. He kind of has like a milk dud head. And it just kind of looked out of proportion as opposed to what people expected it to be. I don't think they're going to change it at all because folks are talking about putting a petition so they can change it because it apparently worked for Sonic. But, I mean, things are about to be released in 2 months. I don't really see them going back to the drawing board to make this guy kind of look Conehead-ish. The one song they had from, what was it, the first Star Wars movie? What's it called? Duel of the Fates, is that it?
Duel of the Fates, and it was intermixed with another song from the soundtrack from the third movie.
Yeah, I mean, that got me hype. I was like, oh, okay, nostalgia hit, but in a good way, and in a way that accurately portrayed Star Wars, hoping as more and more of these series do come out that they start to tie everything together and hopefully erase that painful trilogy that we had to watch that still no one understands what happened. Amazing overall. Glad that they're expanding the characters with a touch of, people that we're familiar with. And I am very, very glad that there's no hint of Darth Vader in this. I don't want to see him until the actual episode. Don't need any trailers to get me excited. I'm already excited about it already.
I would just say I'm cautiously optimistic about this. There's a lot of good callbacks to good Star Wars, which is always much appreciated. But looking for when Disney decides to let me down. And no, that's kind of a bad way to look at certain things, but they won't do it. They'll be very unapologetic about it. Again, I'm just looking for when they let me down. So, Keith, I know you said that you had some personal feelings about maybe what direction they're going to be taking.
Stay away from spoilers in the future. It's not even a spoiler, but I'm hearing that Obi-Wan is only one part of the story. It's going to follow one of the Inquisitors. They may be the focus of the series.
Not the fifth brother, is it?
No, this is that chick.
Yeah.
I heard she was a new character specifically for this.
Hence why there can't have a person of color be the bad guy. Can't be the bad guy and stuff like this now.
They have to be working for the bad guy, but they can't be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have to be working for them, and there has to be some sort of repentance. All the rumor is that Kathleen Kennedy is all over this, taking the reins.
Is that confirmed?
We will know in the first episode. Executive producer of all the Star Wars projects. So now she has.
But does she have a history of tying into the animated series at all?
She has a history of projecting herself.
Yes. And understand the animated stuff. The anime stuff was kid stuff, and it was not worth her time. But this live action stuff, all the movies are on hold. they haven't greenlit any movies. There are no Star Wars movies coming out. Everything is revolving around Disney Plus and their TV project work. I think there's a High Republic movie that they're talking about doing, but that's not getting any kind of case. So right now, all this stuff and The Mandalorian was a project that slipped kind of under her radar, and it became a huge success. So she can't touch that, but she's been all over Boba Fett. She's been all over this one as well. What I've got a problem is that I'm concerned that this isn't about Obi-Wan. It's going to have, I don't know what her character's name is, which is a good thing because I'm trying to stay away from the spoilers and everything, but that Black Inquisitor chick, she's going to be kind of the focus, or she'll have a starring role in that. And I'm not much of a fan of it, but I don't know why they want to keep putting, the Empire was like all white English guys. I don't know why they want to keep doing like diversifying the Empire like that. Not sure what the game is, and then they kind of want to make them, some guys in the Empire aren't bad guys. They're just people who got good in them too. I don't know why they want to keep trying to do that. It never works in the storylines. So I don't know. But either way, like I said, what's got me concerned is that the focus is going to get shifted away from Obi-Wan, and it's going to be like Boba Fett in terms of it's not about that one singular character. That character is sort of the driver for the story. What happened to Picard in the first season? Those are my concerns.
Think that at some point Disney is going to be the Lucasfilm iteration of Disney and just start J.J. Abrams everything. It's like, oh yeah, I can't wait for the show, and the show is not really about him. We still didn't even do a review on that. I think it's kind of indicative of maybe what that last episode was.
Oh, Boba Fett?
Yeah.
No, yeah. I couldn't bring myself to talk about it. It was just like, ugh. God dang it. Like, why would you do
so
this?
My score for Book of Boba Fett's like a 5. There's only good episodes with the Din Djarin episodes.
Yeah, I agree.
1 or 2 of the early episodes, and that's about it.
He essentially was replaced by a brand new, shinier version. That's essentially what happened.
The last episode was they're just getting attacked by mech. And it's like, well, what do we do? I'm like, well, apparently Grogu can do anything. How about that? Grogu should just be able to crush the mech.
It's not that great.